Tourism Authority just released a new study that shows that despite traditional beliefs, many tourism jobs can be a solid form of employment. Joining us live is the Director of Research, Nate Kelly, to give us more insight on their findings. Good morning. You and I were just talking briefly, and you were going to tell us a little bit about the wage statistics that you found.
Yeah, so one of the things that we really looked into with this workforce study was to get a better and more accurate portrayal of really what the wage and compensation structure are for these jobs, because there's no shortage of stories throughout the media where you read that these jobs are minimum wage, they're dead end, etc. However, the statistics that they're citing from the Labor Department, they don't include tips and other forms of compensation. So that was the first thing that we really wanted to dig into.
Yeah.
So once we looked into some payroll data that we received that was proprietary for restaurant workers, we actually found that the average wage for these tourism jobs is $28 an hour. And then when you start thinking about the other types of jobs and payroll services, et cetera, that these hotels and restaurants also use, that number actually increases to $32 an hour.
Wow. Okay, so not bad.
No, not at all. Especially considering that 70% of these jobs, they don't require a college education or really any formal on the job training. So it's there's a lot of opportunity there.
Talk about the longevity of something like this, because some may think at a restaurant or whatever, it's kind of a dead end job, isn't going to get you anywhere. Is that the case?
No, not necessarily. For sure, there are plenty of opportunities once you've gone through the restaurant job cycle or the hotel job cycle to take jobs in other parts of the economy, right? So for instance, at the Tourism Authority, our president and CEO, Julie Coker, I mean, she started off, waitressing, and then she eventually went into hotels, and now she's the president and CEO of this Tourism Authority. So there are plenty of opportunities beyond that to take the skills that you acquire while you're on the job farther up.
Any other interesting finds when doing this? Yeah,
well, I mean, 13,000 job openings, so there's no shortage of demand for these jobs, and they do pay well. And I think that's really important, right? It's good for the economy, it's good for the workforce, and it's good for the businesses too.
And where can people find where some of these job openings are, more listings, or how they can get help?
Well, there's a ton of resources at sandiego.org, which is the Tourism Authority's flagship website. So.
All right, fabulous. You just made tourism jobs sound way more sexy. Better wage, all right, and not dead end. We appreciate your time, Nate. Thank you for coming in. All right, we do have to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll see you on the other side.